Well, what is going down, everybody? Welcome to another Am I Still on the Air? I am so happy to be here tonight. We're broadcasting here from the Red Dragons Radio Studios, and it is January the 21st, and it is time. It is time that we put the list to use. We've been telling you this is coming. It's been in the works. Every year we drop this episode, and it's one of our most listened to episodes. People love getting into list. I love getting into list, and so do my guest host here tonight. Tonight, it's all about closing up 2019 and then looking to the future of 2020 in cinema. So tonight, it is our top 10 films of 2019, and then leading in to our top 10 most anticipated of our current brand new year of 2020. So this is awesome. We do this every January, and I am ready to rock it, even though I hate my 2020 list. But that's just how it goes, and we'll get into that a little bit later. So welcome to the show. Once again, I'm DONMEGA, and I got my guest, as always, on these special episodes, Peeps and Frigginz. What up, y'all?
What it do, y'all?
Hey, everybody.
Baby!
It's been a long time.
It's been a couple weeks since our Star Wars episode, but
yes.
But hey, welcome back, guys. Our second "Am I Still in the Air" of 2020. I mean, it's cracking up in here.
Heck yeah, we're off to a great start. We got to keep this rolling. It's good times. I'm feeling a little bit more alive than the last one, so hopefully I sound a little better.
Well, that is always good.
You sound amazing, Frigginz, just so you know.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you so much. All right.
Well, it's pretty simple, man. This is what we do. At first, the first half of this show here, we're going to be wrapping up 2019. We're going to talk about our top 10 films. We're kind of going to go around in order and count them down till we get to our number ones. And just kind of giving a brief little, what we thought about the film. That's not a big review or anything like that, but obviously just kind of talking about why it resonated, why it hit the list, and where, it places there. And then once we're done getting our 10 out the way, we look forward to the future and we start writing down our top 10 anticipated. Yes, we looked ahead from this month all the way to December, saying what's coming out and what can I not wait to see. I will say, looking back at my 2018 list, I think most of those films, for a majority, made my top 10, which I'm very, very excited about, because it usually does not happen that way. I think there was a couple that got left out, I know, on my list, like Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Terminator Dark Fate. There was a couple movies there that didn't quite make the list when it all was said and done. But for the most part, got a lot of repeat offenders. So how did you guys feel like your list kind of panned out compared to when we looked at them as anticipated earlier in the year?
Yeah, for me, when we were looking at the most anticipated of 2019, I think looking at what I have now, there were only 2 movies that we had on that anticipated list that actually made my top 10 this year. I've talked with you guys before. Every year there's something I don't know anything about that surprises me, something that pops up, a trailer, or something that's either been hush hush, or maybe, they've only briefly talked about, and then like you see this thing and it surprises the hell out of you. Well, this year I had a bunch of those, so I ended up only having a total of 2 from my anticipated list.
Wow. I'm kind of the opposite. There was only 2, maybe 3, we'll get into that, that didn't meet my 2019 list. Everything else that I had anticipated from last year made it on the list this year. So
interesting.
Yeah, I'm right
I was
there.
I know myself. So.
Right. That's how I feel. I'm right there with you, Peeps. I'm looking back at my list right now, and there was 3 movies that did not make my list. And the funny thing is it was my 8, 9, 10. So hey, I think that's pretty good. Pretty good. Godzilla, King of the Monsters, Terminator Dark Fate, and It Chapter 2. So those were my 8, 9, 10 of last year that were my most anticipated, but did not make the list.
I'm sorry.
Funny.
That's what you get, buddy, for looking forward to Dark Phoenix.
I know. That shouldn't even have been on my list. But you know what's funny? Only my number 1 and my number 10 made the most made my list this year, which is so weird. Like,
I will say this for Dark Phoenix, there was a split second where that actually made my top 10. So when I was putting my list together, it was there, but then as I started adding other films, it kind of got further down and just eventually fell out. But hey, I love Dark Phoenix. I will scream it to the world. I love that film. I own it in 4K. I've watched it multiple times. I saw it twice in the theater. I've watched it a couple times since I bought it. I think it's a really good movie. I don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. So I don't know why it bombed. I enjoyed it, and it almost made my list. So shout out to X-Men Dark Phoenix.
I would just want to point out that there's a lot of movies that I liked a lot that didn't make the list. I mean, we're narrowing it down to 10. So if something, people like that didn't make the list, it doesn't mean I didn't like it. It's just, this is our top 10.
Honorable mentions? Is that what you're saying?
There's probably a lot.
I'll say Dark Phoenix is an honorable mention.
That's fair. That's fair.
I know another one. And we could just write out some honorable mentions. We don't got to wait till our turns go around. But
cool.
Another one I had on my list for quite some time, and then as I played around with it and shifted out, it fell out at the very end, and I'm kind of sad it fell out because I love this movie so much. It was actually Six Underground. I loved Six Underground, Michael Bay, Netflix, Ryan Reynolds. That movie's so badass, and it was, I think I had it at like number 8 when my original list went together, and then it kind of went to 9, and then it went to 10. It eventually fell out, but not by much, man, not by much. I mean, depending on how I woke up tomorrow, it could be back on there, but as of right now, I'd say it's an honorable mention, but I love Six Underground.
I hear you, man. I was shifting my list up till like today. I mean, so it's just like, the more you think on something, you're like, I think I really enjoyed that a little bit more. I rewatched a couple things, and I was like, oh, you know what? I liked that a lot more than I remembered. I would say that there's quite a few that I could throw on honorable mentions that are just like kind of like big name stuff, but I'll leave that out for now. The two I just wanted to throw out there that I thought these are surprises that I had no idea about going into the year. Was Yesterday and Fighting with My Family. Both of those movies I enjoyed way more than I thought, even seeing the trailer, especially the Fighting with My Family, because I'm not a wrestling fan. But that was...
Oh, see, I'm the wrestling fan. It's not even in my top 10.
That's funny.
But it is a good movie.
Well, it's not in my top 10 either.
It is a good movie, though. It is a good movie.
I just gave it a lot of credit for like how interesting it was, especially not knowing anything about it. I think I liked it more. And then Yesterday, big Beatles fan, so that was fun for me. And again, there's more that I can list off, but those are the two kind of offshoots that I wanted to throw out there as almost making the list.
I think the only one I have for honorable mentions, really, it was on my list for a long time, but at literally exactly what you guys said. As the year went on, it fell off relatively early, but overall, I still really enjoyed it. That is Us. I really liked it. That, like, the music and the feel and just it was like right. I don't know, man. I really dug it, but I had some issues with things that just did not make any kind of sense. Like, don't serve me a salad and then put some egg on it and tell me it's vegan. I have no idea where I'm going with that.
I'm so confused.
I didn't get the story. They don't tell me that she trained every single human across the entire United States to do whatever the hell that they did. Like, I don't know.
What are you
so
talking
weird.
about? I totally just spaced out.
Us.
Oh, Us. Okay. Yes. I thought we shifted.
You don't
to a
need to
different
have
movie.
all the answers. You don't need to have all the answers, but I feel you.
Every time you think you have all the answers, I change the question.
Exactly.
Yes.
Us is great, though. Yes, there was a moment there where I contemplated that too, but it did not make it. Any other ones, Peeps?
I'm not as cool as you guys, so I haven't seen as many movies. So
I think I saw 11. 10 is the 10 I saw.
Yeah, I saw the 11 movies, and Us didn't quite make it.
Oh, shit.
No, man. I guess that's really it. Right. I guess Captain Marvel. I don't know. That didn't quite make it for me. And
same.
Yeah, again, I didn't hate it, but didn't quite love it, but I enjoyed it. And anybody, especially if you're into the whole Marvel films, I mean, I definitely suggest it and check it out. And it's a whole lot of something. I don't know.
All right.
It's not fun.
Well, on that note, let's get our list started. And I'll kick us off at number 10, and you just brought it up. It's Captain Marvel, baby.
That's perfect timing.
So welcome to number 10. It is Captain Marvel. This is where I battled with Six Underground and Captain Marvel because I was like, ooh, I don't know which way to go. But yes, we are all big Marvel fans here, and I really enjoyed this entry. I didn't like it as much the first time I saw it, but then I saw it a second time, and I liked it a lot more. I've watched it several more times since it's been out on home. And I really dig this movie, and I think it resonates better with me because of my daughter. My daughter is a massive Captain Marvel fan. She's only 6, but she was Captain Marvel for Halloween. Her backpack is Captain Marvel for school. She has Captain Marvel shoes. She has Captain Marvel on her walls. I mean, she really, really resonated with this character, and for me, that was awesome to see. I mean, this is what we talk about. This is why it's so important to have female heroes up on the big screen. She liked Wonder Woman there for a minute, but not to the extent that, like, for some reason Captain Marvel clicked,
Yeah.
And that was a big
great
deal for her, seeing her again pop up in Endgame and stuff like that. So it's awesome. I can't wait to see where it goes. But I think just with everything that kind of brought to the table is why it made it slide into that number 10 slot, which usually a Marvel movie would be a lot higher on my list. But, like I said, Captain Marvel's a little bit down there for me. But overall, it is a very fun movie. She's great in the role, and I had a lot of fun with this one. So Captain Marvel's my number 10. We all know that is not on any of y'all lists, so we won't waste any time there. But I thought it was a perfect way to segue into the list.
Well, I think it is a great film. Like Pete said, it still has a lot to bring to the table. Yeah, well, that too. I personally loved the intro scene where they're like the special force team sneaking in, about to mess some shit up, but then they kind of got away from that. But you know what? I'm so glad to hear you talk about like how much it resonated with your daughter. I think exactly what you said. That's why these movies needed to be here for a lot longer than when we just recently got them. But it was so cool seeing her like in the costumes and things like that, and it was just like that's exactly what we need. So I was glad to see it come out as well. And it was, I would say that on my list it was probably like the 12th or 13th on my list, so it was really close to the 10.
Okay. All right, Peeps, what you got at number 10?
Oh man, so this is the only one that I kind of struggled with because I like both of these movies a lot, and I didn't know quite which one to put at the 10 spot, and I didn't want to throw either of them at let you know what the honorable mention was just for this moment. Just want to let everybody know I really struggle with number 10. I don't know why, but I think at the end of the day, my number 10 of my top favorite movies last year is going to be God damn it, Shazam. The
struggle with that one a little bit.
Just a little bit.
Slap it like a waddling dong.
Yeah, man. So the other movie I was struggling with was Aladdin. Where do I put it? Aladdin or Shazam?
Two magical genies.
Yeah, true.
Oh, yeah.
You ain't never had a friend like me.
I was gonna just say the same thing. You beat me to it.
Dude, Aladdin was hella fun.
It was. Honorable mention.
Yeah. That's what that Aladdin does go to the honorable mention. But back to Shazam. I mean, dude, like again, just from the trailer, I mean, we kind of all had a feeling that we were going to enjoy this movie. It made my number 4 last year for most anticipated. And dude, like from beginning to end, like this movie was like hella fun, and it was they didn't take itself too serious. It, what's his name? The main actor, was it Zach? Yeah, man, like I don't know, he was like again that movie. It had that nostalgia from Big, that feeling, and I don't know, man, it was fun. Superhero. The character Shazam himself is like a complete badass in the DC universe and stuff. I don't even know. I know nothing about Shazam comics, but they told the story, I feel like, very well enough for me to grab it. And again, it kind of sucks because I really want to see Shazam pop up in a Justice League movie or hang out with Superman, but Who knows where that's going to go? But we'll see. But I don't know. I had a lot of fun with that movie, and I guess issues like I guess the
we
whole
don't need to
end
go into
scene-
issues. No. You're going way too deep here, buddy.
Uh-oh.
Remember, come on. We're
We
not
got
talking issues. We're just
10
talking about,
films.
hey, we love a film. It made my list. Let's move on.
All right, I dig it.
Yeah, remember, Fred needs to keep this under 2 hours. So.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's my fault.
I do want to say, yes, I agree with you, Peeps. I love Shazam, and spoiler alert, it is further up on my list. So, Frigginz, what you got?
Well, I'm so glad you brought up both Shazam and Aladdin. Shazam did not make my list. It just got edged out. I agree with you. It had a lot to offer, really fun. I also had issues with it as well, and that's why it didn't make the top 10. But all in all, it's super fun. I thought it brought something new to the table, especially for DC, so hopefully we get more of it in the future. Definitely
It should have been
enjoy it.
darker though. You know it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Rated R, blood and guts. But my number 10 actually is Aladdin. You guys said that.
Oh, wow.
You got to understand, Aladdin was like one of my first movies I remember going to the theater and seeing as a kid. So there's a special place in my heart for Aladdin. It's probably one of my favorite, if not my favorite, Disney movie, of all time. And so seeing it recreated was great. It was fun. Are there issues? Sure. But all in all, I had a really good time with it. I really like Will Smith. So him as a genie was fantastic. And it just made me smile. And then I recently rewatched it and, singing along the songs and just smiling as you're watching it. It just was a good time, and it brought that nostalgia factor. Thanks. With the sound effects, beats on the ones and twos. But yeah, no, it was great.
Why do I get credit for that?
Well, you were doing the yeehaw guy the whole last time.
What yeehaw
The
guy?
yeehaw guy.
I don't know.
Bible
The guy-
Frick.
Yeah, that guy. Anyway, yes, it was. It's my number 10. Just had too much fun with it, and it just made me smile too much, so it had to be on the list.
Nice. I never expected you guys to have Aladdin up there. So very cool. I will say, as far as Aladdin goes, is not on my top 10. But this was a movie that I remember when it came out. I was like, I don't even want to see it. I didn't even want. I was like, I don't even care to see it. But it was one of those weekends, family movie. Hey, let's all go. And I actually had a smile on my face from start to finish. I really, really enjoyed it. It's a fun movie. I like the updated songs. Princess Jasmine, oh my god. I loved it, man. It turned out to be a great movie. I actually bought it the day of its release on digital in 4K, and I love the movie, man. Now streaming on Disney Plus as well.
Heck yeah.
So I see it. I get it. It made $1 billion, which I never thought in a million years would happen to that movie as well. So very, very cool, man. It's that was a fun
Especially
one.
Guy Ritchie directing it.
I know, which I thought was the biggest mistake when it was announced.
I did too.
But you did all right.
Yep, he was good.
Yeah.
He was good.
All right, moving on to number 9. So number 9 for me, you might surprise some people, but I had a blast with this sequel, maybe even more than I did on the first one. So number 9 for me is Jumanji: The Next Level. I absolutely loved Jumanji: The Next Level. I loved the one that came out a couple years ago, Welcome to the Jungle. And it was such a fresh reimagining to have them go into the video game and have, The Rock and Kevin Hart and Jack Black, Karen Gillan all be like the avatars in the video game. And this new movie just took it to a whole nother level with adding in Danny DeVito and just all the different characters that went into it. And it was funny as hell, man. And just seeing The Rock play Danny DeVito and Kevin Hart being Danny Glover.
That was good.
The movie was,
was
so damn funny, man. And I think I might actually even like it more than the other one. I saw it twice in the theater and just had a blast and a grin on my face from start to finish. And when I went back and I re-looked at all the movies that came out, it was hard for me to not slot this one in somewhere. So, that's my number 9, Jumanji. Jumanji: The Next Level.
Are we
was
in
pretty fun.
Florida?
It was pretty funny to hear what's her name, Karen Gillian say it. Are you for real?
That was
Fridge?
such a fun movie. I couldn't believe how fun it was. And I agree with you, Don. I think I actually like it more than the first one as well, which is really rare. I kind of almost was dragged to it. Like, I wanted to see it, but I wasn't, like, in the mood. And I was just kind of dragged, and I was like, oh, fine, I guess we'll go watch it. And, oh, my God, I couldn't stop laughing. And it's just so much fun. And I could definitely see why this is on your top 10.
Yeah, they had a pretty good, I don't know, lead on to what could come in the future, too. So I think that could be a lot of fun to see. Maybe the actual in-game avatars come out and, like, hang out with the kids or something like that.
Yeah.
I think that would be pretty dope.
Spoiler.
Yeah,
that would be cool.
Not spoiler.
Yeah, I guess we should do probably spoilers. We might bring up some spoilers. So, spoiler alert.
But hey, all these movies are now available on digital and Blu-ray.
Yep.
Right.
So, your spoiler window.
Cool.
So. All right, that's my number 9. Peeps, what you got? Number 9.
Number 9. All right, so we're gonna start already with the get the fuck out of here. So just so you guys know.
Oh, you're starting it this year, huh? Not
Yes.
even gonna wait for me. Okay.
Nope, this is me. All right.
I'm getting ready.
Number 9.
Oh shit.
Hobbs and Shaw.
Why would I say that?
What?
Because it's so
I'm gonna
low
say
on
that.
because because it's so low.
Pops.
Once you see
Props,
once you
Peeps.
see what else I
Props.
have. Okay. All right.
Nah. Get the fuck out of here.
No, fuck that. It's in my top 10 too, Peeps. It's in my top 10 too. We gonna rock this bitch.
Dude, so this movie, I didn't have it on my anticipated last year. I heard about it, and I think we even had a trailer at this point. And I don't know, I thought it was going to be ridiculous and kooky and explosions and okay, good special effects and good rock and Jason Statham, but I mean, that's literally all it was, and that's literally all you fucking need in this goddamn movie. Like that, on top of Idris Elba playing Black Superman, like it was nonstop fun from beginning to end. Like the cameos, like
Yes.
I can't remember what his name was, but I don't know. I don't want to get into that too much. But dude, it reminded me a lot of Triple X when that movie first came out. Triple X, again, people go into movies, they tell the story and the the overall plot and then the character development, the cinematography.
What's wrong with a little bit of plot? I mean, we need some plot in our life.
I'm sorry, but like this movie is a perfect shut your brain off and just smile with like the eyegasms of explosions that they give you, and it's lower on my list because of maybe some of the it didn't blow me
Plot
away
holes.
entirely, but I mean. Maybe, but it was fucking fun. Like The Rock is holding on to a goddamn helicopter and and a truck at the same time. Like they turned these characters into freaking superheroes. Like they probably could go toe to toe with like Captain America and Hulk. Probably, I don't know. But again, like just the interaction between Rock and Statham, like it's just like this. It's like what Tango and Cash, like of its time, man. Like this movie is hella fun. If you haven't seen it, just turn it on and enjoy yourself for a good hour, 2, 3, 4 hours of it. It's a good time. You're gonna rewatch it, and they have some amazing after credit scenes. So I don't know. It's a hella fun. It's a hella fun flick for me.
Awesome. Frigginz, what you got?
I just want to add 2 small things real quick.
If you're going to say something negative, you cannot add it right here. I need you to move on with your number 9.
Number 9.
Because you guys are going to talk so much shit about mine, so I got to get mine in. 2 things. There's nothing wrong with a little bit of plot, all right? So that's all I'm going to say about that.
It's got a little bit of plot.
Just a little. I guess we need a little bit more. But anyway, and the number 2, absolutely love.
Coming from Mr. Aladdin. I don't know.
Plot. There's something to be said about the relationship between Idris Elba and his motorcycle, which was the most badass thing ever. That motorcycle was like a transformer, and I loved it. So that part was.
It was like a character in its own. Exactly.
Yeah, I liked it. All right, so my number
Superman.
9. Yeah, he was awesome. My number 9. I almost didn't even put it on this list only because it didn't come out in 19. Technically it did, but it wasn't released wide release until 2020. But if it's going to be thrown in the Oscars, then I'm going to go ahead and put it on my list because according to everything online, this is a 2019 movie. So that would be 1917.
It is a 2019 movie.
I know, and it's stupid because it came out for one day, like on Christmas, and in like 2 theaters, one in LA and one in New York, and then no one else can see it. So since it's a 2019 movie, it's on my 2019 top 10. I am a sucker for war movies. This movie was fantastic. It does something new that I hadn't seen before in a film, which was like this vibe of a one continuous shot throughout. Which was interesting. I have to say I don't want to see that all the time. But I just really enjoyed the story. It was a new war that I didn't. Well, I shouldn't say new war. It was a war that they don't do a lot of movies about. So it was a little bit new to me, and seeing it's not because they always do World War II and stuff. So it was interesting to see something different. And it's just phenomenal. It has good plot and story and cinematography and lighting and special effects. So get out of here with your over the top stuff.
It was outside, of course. It had good lighting.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, natural lighting.
It was great. So yeah, that's my number 9. I know you guys aren't as big on war movies as I am, but number 9.
No interest from me. I think I just talked about it on my new episode the other day. I won't give you a get the fuck out of here on that one as much as I want to, because I know how much it is getting rave reviews everywhere and the Oscars and all that good stuff. So I'll leave it alone at that. I just don't like war movies.
Don't worry, because I think other than maybe one more movie, the rest of my list is probably going to get the fuck out of here from you guys, especially the top 5.
Okay. All right. Moving on. It's time for number 8. All right, so my number 8, speaking of Oscars and nominations and everything going down, my number 8 is Joker. So I got Joker at number 8. I absolutely love this movie. We did a spoiler review of Joker, so if you want to hear us break this movie down, it was actually a really good spoiler review that we did. Go back and check that out on the Am I Still on the Air page. But yeah, Joker, man, amazing. I actually just rewatched this last weekend. My wife hadn't seen it, so I put it on, watched it, loved it even more. I think it was like the 4th time I had seen it. I like this movie more and more every time I see it. Joaquin Phoenix, what can I say? Like I put it on record. I don't really care for Joaquin Phoenix. I haven't really liked him in anything since like the early 2000s. But man, I walked out just being like, give this dude an Oscar, give him all the awards. And so far, he's getting all the awards. He's gotten the Golden Globe, he's gotten the SAG Awards, he's gotten the BAFTAs, he's gotten everything for Best Actor. I'm pretty sure he's going to get the Oscar. And hopefully the movie even gets one as well, too, for Best Film. So, yeah, what else could be said that hasn't been said already? Fantastic movie. Joker is my number 8.
I don't care what the director says. Zazie is she's dead.
No, she's not.
So
she's totally dead.
She's not dead.
Cool. All right, well, I'll go ahead and take it. Number 8. And again, this is where it gets weird, y'all. So bear with me. So movie that I completely did not anticipate watching, let alone enjoying, especially as much as I did to make it on top of my the top 10 list, and that is Child's Play. Yes, Chucky made his way onto my list. Yes. I don't know if anybody here has seen it.
I have seen it. I own it. But it does not deserve top 10. But it is a good movie. Way better than I thought it would be.
I absolutely, when they, DX says all the time, like if you want them to do just a copy and paste of the same movie, then just watch the fucking original and you already have that movie. No, stop complaining whenever they change it. And that's what they did in this. Like in Child's Play, they completely changed the story. There is no mysticism. There is no magic and voodoo and, child, I don't know, body swapping. Like
he's just a virus.
He's a virus. He's fucking Ultron, dude. And like that's what I love about it.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And again, and the kills, like, it takes a while. It takes like a good 40 minutes, or actually probably like 30 minutes before you get to like a kill, but it builds up that anticipation, I feel like, very well. I mean, it again, he's just an AI, and he's learning, oh, you want him to be my friend. In order for him to be my friend, I probably got to get rid of anybody else that's potentially a threat or that upsets him. And it's just nutsy. And and Mark Hamill, like, voicing Chucky, I thought was just freaky, and the fact that his eyes turn red, and everybody that's listened to me ever talk about a movie knows that I have a thing about eyes, and I absolutely love this movie. And my kids, yes, DX is talking about how his kid loves Captain Marvel, but my kids love Chucky.
Oh, Peeps, don't tell the world that that's your parenting style.
I know, right?
Yeah, no, my kids, they're like 18, 19 years old. So
Yes, yes.
Yeah. There you go.
Come on, Pops, can we watch Child's Play again?
Yeah, man, it was a lot of fun. Again, I didn't even own it, and I saw it, and I'm like, I'm buying this shit right away, and I've probably seen it like 2-3 times since then. I absolutely love this movie, and I really hope they continue with it. I haven't heard anything, so maybe not, but yet. I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. But number 8.
I agree with you, though, man. I mean, it was a pleasant surprise. I love that they went, like you said, if you're going to do a reboot or a remake or reimagining, do something different with it, and that's what they did here. They advanced it for the times. He's computer generated, it's like he's got a computer chip that goes haywire. It's a virus, like you said, Ultron. Like,
he's in the cloud,
and really, he's only killing because he wants to be the kid's best friend, and he won't let anyone get in the way. And that's exactly. It's very simple. He's not just becoming evil; he's just trying to protect his best friend.
Yeah, he's taking his programming and he's making it logical.
Yep.
So I don't know.
Yep. It was very, very good. I did enjoy it a lot. All right, Frigginz, number 8.
Oh man, as a kid, Chucky was like the worst thing for me. Scared the shit out of me. So like to this day, I still have like PTSD about Chucky. So nope, I'm not gonna watch that one.
I hear you. No, you're saying movie night next week. I got it.
Anyway, my number 8. So this movie was nowhere near my radar whatsoever. I was actually listening to a podcast, and I hear the guy who I like similar things that he likes, and he's like, if you like movies that I like, then check this one out. And hearing him talk about it, I thought, all right, I'll check it out. And oh my God, I couldn't stop laughing. It had so much heart. It was funny. It's Dolomite is my name. If you guys have not seen this, Dolomite is my name. It's Eddie Murphy, and man, does he come back strong. I mean, his acting is so good on this movie. It's kind of based on it is based off of a real story, and it's on Netflix. It did get released in a few theaters, but you should definitely go and check this out if you have Netflix. You will laugh. It is funny, and it's just an amazing story that while you're watching it, like, I just kept saying, I can't believe this is real. Like, this actually happened. And at the end of the movie, when it's all over, they show you some clips from their actual real life stuff. You will laugh, you will cry. It's got everything. And Eddie Murphy just knocks it out the park. So Dolomite is my name. Hits my number 8.
Nice.
Do they have the "bitch, are you for real" scene in it?
I think there's stuff like that. I don't remember, the exact quotes, but there's a lot of that and a lot of motherfucker and stuff like that.
Okay.
Dude, it's hilarious.
No, I'm glad to hear this is a movie that's been on my list to watch since it came out. I don't know why, I just haven't had a chance to watch it, but I have not heard one negative thing about this film, so I hope to watch it here very soon. I'm looking forward to it. I love Eddie Murphy.
Hopefully it being on my list might give you a little inspiration to kick it up on the priority.
Well, no, it's your list. If it was on Peep's list.
That's true.
All right. My list right now.
All right, it's time for number 7. So number 7 for me is a movie that's been mentioned already earlier tonight, and that comes back around to me with Shazam. So DC's fun take on the lovable character. Shazam, I remember I got to see the movie like 2 weeks early before it actually hit theaters. then watched it again a couple more times in the theater. This movie is just fun, plain and simple, fun from start to finish. My daughter also loves this movie so much. This was a great one to get to watch with her. Real big kicks, real big laughs, and I'm glad to hear that they're moving forward with the sequel. And hopefully we'll get something really cool here in the next couple of years with part 2. But yeah, I won't linger anymore on this one here. But Shazam is awesome. If you haven't seen it, check it out. That's my number 7. So, Peeps, what you got?
Sexy. My number 7 is Spider-Man: Far From Home. This one was difficult for me. As anybody that's listened to us before knows how much we love our Marvel films, and as the year went on and as I saw other movies, it just kept falling, further and further down. Again, in the end of I think we're at this point in these movies where, in my list, where I absolutely love the rest of the movies, but again, you got to have a winner, you got to have a loser. Spider-Man, dude, I mean, Tom Holland just kills it as Spider-Man. My favorite Spider-Man that we've had so far. This movie, it's just this high school, and that's what I'm saying. Like, that's what I love about this. Like, he does a great Peter Parker, and he does a great Spider-Man. Like, a combination I feel like would be very difficult to pull off, and he pulls it off very well. And the introduction of Mysterio, again, a wacky, crazy character that you would never think would actually work on film, but they pull it off very freaking well with the twist. And this movie kind of, it's put Spider-Man in some funky direction that we have no idea what's going to happen next in the world of Spider-Man. And I really love that. This movie was almost a game changer for Spider-Man. So I love the shit out of it. What's her name? The girl that played Mary Jane. I mean, every fucking character in this movie, from the teachers all the way down to every student. Again, great movie. Loved it. Spider-Man: Far From Home. Mic drop. We might hear about it once or twice, again. So yeah.
If we hear about it, it's only going to be once, because it did not make my top 10.
Hey, why you got a spoiler alert? Jesus Christ.
9 spoilers
blowing
already.
it up.
I know. It just, as much as I love Marvel, this one didn't really do it for me. Like, I still liked it. Still loved it. It's probably like around the 12 or 13 on my list as well. Are you for
real?
But, I don't know. I just feel like, there was just a couple of things I liked better. Where did Fred go?
Did we lose Fred? Fred, are you still there? Fred, are you still there?
Yeah, I don't hear him.
Did we lose him?
I think we lost him. Are you joking? I think he's joking. Oh, because I'm talking trash about Spider-Man. Okay, I get it. Anyway, my number 7 was not a Spider-Man related.
It'll be a movie that's not as good as Spider-Man, but let's go. What's your number 7?
Well, you might say it's not as good as Spider-Man, but apparently the Oscars think it's better than Spider-Man.
Movie snub back in the house.
Let's not do that.
Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, this motherfucker.
Oh, dude, this movie. Oh, so good. When I first saw the trailer for it, I wasn't quite sure what to think of it, because, it focuses a lot with the Nazis and stuff. Like, I don't know if I want to watch that. But I trust in Taika Waititi, and holy shitballs, this movie was hysterical. It was such a good satire. And what's really surprising is how sad things could get in this movie, because especially looking at the trailer, I just thought it was going to be nonstop, like, kind of ridiculous comedy the whole time. But there's a scene that just, man, if it doesn't bring tears to your eyes, I don't think you're a human being. I mean, it just, there's so much, and it gets so deep underneath this, like, facade of just a comedy or a satire, but it really gets down to, like, the human connection and stuff like that. So it just, so many different levels. Taika Waititi is amazing. And I can't say enough good things about this film. I'm so excited that it's getting some recognition, because it's definitely worth it. And I'm disappointed that you guys haven't seen this movie. Number 7.
Well, I will watch this movie when it actually hits home.
Good.
But yeah, I was in no rush to see it in the theater. It looked a little too off the beaten path for me. But yeah, I am interested to check it out at some point.
If you feel the same, I would encourage you to watch, like, anyone listening, watch it, because it does seem it's like off onto the side, but I'm telling you, it gets really deep in some moments, and if you see, pay attention to what's really being communicated there, it's phenomenal. So yeah, great stuff.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. All right.
Let's move on to number 6. So my number 6 is another movie that's been mentioned tonight, and I'm gonna bring it back. Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
Oh shit!
That's
Motorcycle.
Right. Number 6 in the house. This was one of my most anticipated films. Absolutely. Of course, you all know me. I love The Rock. He is the best. And him and Jason Statham, awesome chemistry together. Idris Elba as the bad guy, amazing. Directed by David Leitch, who did Deadpool 2 and Atomic Blonde and John Wick. I mean, come on. This was a combination for action extreme, and that's exactly what it is. Yes, it goes way over the top. Yes, it is insane. But it doesn't matter, man. It's part of the Fast and Furious franchise, and that's what we love about it, is just to have some balls to the wall action with some real good humor, and that's exactly what Hobbs and Shaw is. I just rewatched this actually a couple days ago, and I just was sitting on my couch just grinning, just like, man, I love this movie. Everywhere it takes you, everything that happens, like Peeps said, the cameos, oh my god, the cameos, the after credit scenes. I cannot wait. I hope we get a sequel to this movie. I hope they bring those cameos in full time. I can't wait to see who the bad guy really turns out to be, because the real true bad guy in this is just you hear over a computer voice, and it's going to turn out to be someone, and I can't wait to see who it turns out to be. So yeah, so my number 6 is Fast and Furious presents Hobbs and Shaw.
So what if it's like Gal Gadot's character and she didn't actually really die?
Hey, it'd be cool. I would accept it. I would accept it.
There you go.
All right, Peeps, number 6.
Well, my number 6 is a movie that we have actually been spent a lot of time recently talking about. I'm not going to get into too much here, but that is Star Wars, the final chapter of the new Star Wars saga. What are we at? Star Wars, the Rise of Skywalker. Man, like, again, we spent a lot of time talking about this movie. I don't want to get into too much, but I mean, for me, unfortunately, like, Star Wars is just one of those film franchises that is just destined to make any list that I ever have. I've been into it ever since I was a little nugget, popping VHSs, and it was a lot of fun. I fell in love in that movie. Babu Frick, I love you, man.
Do the video, do the audio.
I'm not. It's not like I've prepared for this or anything.
Oh, okay.
Sure.
Yeah, no, but yeah, man, I don't know. Again, Star Wars, not much else I could say. If you want to hear how I really feel about it, go ahead and listen to our spoiler episode of Star Wars episode. What are we at? Like 49? 49.
Yes. There it is.
All right, Frigginz, number 6.
6. I can't do it as good as you guys. All right, so my number 6. is Good Boys.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not really like a big comedy guy, so
just as much as he's not a big horror fan.
Exactly. But usually comedies aren't my jam. Like, I like comedies, like they make me laugh, but like they're never usually my favorite. But when I saw Good Boys, oh my god, I felt like I started laughing like right when the movie started. And I didn't stop until the credits rolled, like after it was completely over. That movie was so freaking funny, and it made me laugh so hard. I was literally crying laughing. I mean, it's so ridiculous to see these little kids in these stupid situations that they should not be in, and oh my gosh, it just hit all the funny bones. So that is my number 6.
Hell yeah. I think it's a good pick. I think it was one of the best comedies of the year. I absolutely loved Good Boys. It did not make my top 10, but it is a super funny movie. I mean, I died in the theater laughing at this is one where, usually I tell you guys, the more I see it, the more I liked it, or I liked it a lot more the second time. I actually liked the movie less when I rewatched it. But
Interesting.
yeah, I loved it in the theater. I was crying. I was laughing so hard in the movie
Same.
theater. But when I bought it when it came out, and when I rewatched it at home with my wife, I was laughing, but I didn't feel like I had that same reaction. Which usually with comedies, it doesn't matter how many times I've seen it. If the movie's funny, I'm gonna laugh my ass off every single time. And I mean, Good Boys was still good. I'm not saying it sucked the second time around, but I definitely liked it less. But it is a really funny movie, though. I mean, it definitely had the right people in place for it. The kids are great. You know, there's gonna be girls at the party. You know what that means? Drama.
Drama. Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
Did you see that one, Peeps?
I did not. That is on my list of things I wanted to watch before I saw this, but or before we recorded this. But yeah, it looks really good. The trailer looks great.
That's funny. All
Very
right,
funny, very funny.
we're getting into the top half now. It's time for number 5. So
Ooh.
my number 5 is John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum.
Oh, snap.
So John Wick Chapter 3, Parabellum. The John Wick franchise, what can I say that hasn't been said? It is just so incredible. This is, you know, a movie franchise that started with a little action movie a couple years ago about a guy whose dog gets murdered, and he goes ballistic and finds everybody and wipes them out. And then we got a sequel a year later, and it was just 10 times bigger and badder. And then we get this movie, which takes it again up another 10 notches. The John Wick franchise is unbelievable. The mysteries that they've built, the rules, the surroundings, the ins and the outs of this thing is amazing, and I cannot wait for Chapter 4. Chapter 3 just had me on the edge of my seat. It was one of those audible movies I just won't forget, sitting in the theater in my seat, and every punch or kick sometimes being like, ooh, ah, like actually out loud, because the stuff is so incredible and it's just so game changing when bricks are going into your face or a horse kicks you in the stomach.
Horse kicks,
and you feel that shit inside your own gut, and you're like, how the hell? You know, I mean, it is crazy. There's not an action franchise that can really hold a candle to John Wick right now. And, so it gets there, man, big time for me. John Wick Chapter 3 at number 5.
John Wick unfortunately didn't make my top 10.
Oh, what?
Yeah, I know.
It didn't make mine either.
But
Frigginz,
mainly,
I'm really shocked on you.
Mainly for me, I'd only seen I saw like 75% of it. I had to like dip out like in parts in the middle. But when I saw the very end, I got angry and I didn't want to watch it because like I'm not going to watch that. So yeah, I didn't like the ending.
Wow.
So yeah.
Well,
Anywho.
I'll say the middle is a really good part of it. So you know, you're missing a lot of the good chunk of it, and I agree. I also didn't like the ending. I think that's really what pushed it out of my top 10. Especially with John Wick being one of my favorite movies ever. But I would encourage you to watch the middle because there's a lot of good stuff in the middle, and really the fault of the movie is at the end, I think. But
yeah, I'll probably watch it sometime after Peanut Butter Falcon Lover. So, another one I haven't seen.
Nothing wrong with that.
All right, top 5, y'all. So my number 5, and again, this is almost the year of nostalgia. Honestly, looking at this list, it is the year of nostalgia for me. This movie, it blew me away. They did all the great things. They did everything that I could have possibly wanted in this movie, and again, I know this isn't on any of your guys' list. Actually, DX, it was on your list last year, so okay, never mind. But that is Godzilla King of Monsters, number 5 for me.
That's the one I told you didn't make my list. It was on my anticipated, but did not make the final cut when it was all said and done.
Gotcha. Yeah, man, this movie was bananas. Again, I have pictures, 5 years old, birthday cake, Godzilla, the Godzilla piñata. I think I got
that's
hit.
Awesome.
Like I loved that fucking Godzilla as a kid, and this movie, man, from the classic music to bringing back Rodan and Ghidorah, and like it just hit all the points I could have wanted from a Godzilla movie. Would have liked a little more Godzilla monster cameos, but whatever. They're making a whole fucking universe of this, so maybe I'll get it eventually if Godzilla versus Kong does well enough. But I just really enjoyed it. Not much else I could really you know say about it. If you enjoy kaiju movies, Pacific Rim, if you've enjoyed Godzilla, you would have probably seen this already up to this point. If you haven't seen it, I mean, it's probably not for you. But just for me, this movie, I got so excited, and I watched it like twice in the theaters, and I think I've watched it once, in my home theater. So I highly enjoyed Godzilla, King of Monsters. The end credits had me, oh snap, in the theaters. So I don't know. I'm super stoked, super excited for the future of this franchise. So go Godzilla, woo woo.
I'm happy to hear that you enjoyed it that much. I was let down by the movie overall, especially just for my anticipation level, just because, like I said, it did make my top 10 anticipated. I
Yeah,
love the trailers. I thought the trailers were phenomenal. My expectations were so through the roof for this film. And again, with a movie like this, I felt like there was too much downtime in between all the fighting and everything
sure.
going on. There was too much of the humans again,
It's
so
funny, man. Like I hear people say that there was way too much like fighting and way too much kaiju in this. Then I'm
oh
like,
no way.
how
Not
could
enough.
anybody
No, I felt
ever
the
say
opposite.
that? Yeah.
Not enough, not enough. But I mean, I did buy it. I actually own it. I never watched it since I bought it. So, but one of these
All right.
days I will sit down and rewatch again. But hey, very cool to see it make your top
I,
five.
I I felt the same way Don did, and then I will say that like one night, Peeps and I were hanging out, and we stopped, and he was just telling me all about the history because the movie, not knowing anything about Godzilla, I just sat there and pulling shit out of the air, and then hearing that it actually was connected to the lore made me appreciate what they did more. At the end of the day, I still didn't enjoy the movie, so it didn't make my list either. But like, I did appreciate that they were actually pulling from the lore, which I didn't know until you told me, Peeps. So it was really nice
Yeah.
though to hear like your passion for it. It's like I'm
Yeah.
talking about aliens, like you talking about that. You just like knew everything about it, and it was just cool to because you could tell that comes from when you were a kid, and
Yeah.
the enjoyment of the franchise, I'll say, for your whole life.
Yep. 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 Yep.
All right, Friggins, what you got? Number five.
All right, my number five is Knives Out. Knives Out is also a film I had no idea about, and then the trailer comes out, and I thought, "Holy crap! This is like a Sherlock Holmes murder mystery. What the heck?" I will say this: the trailer came out so much, and was like, it felt like it was in front of every freaking movie
Yes,
that
it was.
I just got to the point where I was like, I can't wait for this movie to be out, so I never have to see this trailer again.
I suspected foul play.
Yeah, but watching it, it was phenomenal. I mean, the cast is insane. I can't believe all the people that they pulled into this film. The story was so fun. Everyone's parts were so unique, and I just felt like everyone really brought their A game to their roles, and each character was so intriguing, and I just ate it up. And what also surprised me was the comedy factor that was included in Knives Out as well. Like I thought it was just going to be this kind of like drama thing, and the comedy, I found myself laughing more than I expected to. So it was just great. I enjoyed the hell out of it, and I heard on one of your podcast episodes where you're saying they're talking about doing another one.
Yep.
So that would be really cool. Did you guys see Knives Out?
Yeah, well, you should know, Fred. Watched, you listened to the
I
episode.
know.
I
That was a
reviewed it.
transition. It was a transition.
I saw Knives Out a week early.
Oh,
Um,
that's right.
yeah, I went to an early screening of it. I loved it. Yeah, I actually got to go with my wife to see that. She doesn't go to the movies very often with me, and she absolutely loved it too. It was a fun movie, man. It was hella fun. The cast was phenomenal, and yeah, it was a great time at the theater. Did not make my top 10, but a very good movie, and I will purchase it when it comes out on 4K.
I am really looking forward to watching this movie. I haven't seen it, and I am really looking forward to it. It looks great. You're an asshole. You're an asshole. You're an asshole.
I mean, everything is so good about it, and give me anything with Ana de Armas. I mean, I'll watch
Yes,
anything
my
with her.
girl, my girl.
Mm-hmm.
Watch Knock Knock.
Oh yeah, I've heard. I haven't seen it yet,
Oh,
but I've
watch Knock Knock.
heard. I've heard. I've heard.
You will not regret it. Yes, she is awesome. All right, it is time for number 4. Number 4 for me is another movie that has already been mentioned earlier tonight, and that is Spider-Man: Far From Home. So we got good old Spidey at number 4. What else can I say that hasn't been said by good old Peeps earlier when it hit his list? Absolutely love Spider-Man. Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man we have. The ending to this movie, J. Jonah Jameson, I mean, everything that went on in this film is incredible, and really sets up a great tone for the future. I mean, Jake Gyllenhaal as Mysterio was phenomenal. Mysterio was always a villain that I had hoped one day I would see on the big screen from being a little kid. I don't know, just Mysterio always resonated and stood out to me as a villain for Spider-Man, and I was like, man, why has nobody ever done Mysterio? And we finally got it, and they did it in such a cool way, and tying it in with Iron Man's history and all of that, and especially coming off the heels of Endgame. Absolutely love this movie. I've seen it a dozen times, and I think it's a great, great film. And I'm just so happy that Sony and Disney and Marvel have worked everything out, and we're going to keep Tom Holland's Spider-Man in the MCU so we can continue his adventures, and we'll see where it goes. But absolutely love it, and that is my number 4. So
good number 4.
Going back to you, Peeps. What you got, number 4?
All right. Well, speaking of recycled movies, and unfortunately, I don't think this year we're going to have the same movie going across the. Oh
no.
Yeah,
oh,
I don't know. But no, my number 4 is again Joker's or spoiler. Fuck it. God damn it. Don's number 8, Joker. So yes, Joker again. Now we had a spoiler episode on this movie, and this movie I had 0 expectations. I had 0 anticipation for it. It did not make my anticipated list last year. But when I saw it, holy crap, this movie is, we've mentioned it in our spoiler episode, but this movie is a ride. It literally takes you through a whole chain of emotions, and that is art. And I think they did a phenomenal job, from the acting to the directing to the lighting to the sound to the super rats. I mean, everything in this freaking movie just stood out to me. I will say, my boy Frigginz was right, and I saw this movie a second time, and it didn't hold me the same way it did the first time, because I knew how.
Oh my god, it holds me so much more every time I see it. That's crazy.
Yeah, because I know where he goes, and I know how he gets there, and I'm like, all right, can we just get there? Can we get there? But yeah, but
Murray.
Again, that doesn't. You get what you fucking deserve.
You get what you fucking deserve.
Yeah. So this again, I'll. Yeah, Joker number 4, fucking phenomenal movie. I hope this movie kills it at the at the awards, and can't wait to see Joker 2 when he's jumping through portals. So that was my
into the other universes. I will say this: Joker did not make my top 10 list, believe it or not. This is almost a contradiction, because the movie has everything that you want. I mean, like you said, lighting, cinematography, score, plot, story, acting, everything, and it was such an experience. But this is the case where the movie wasn't fun for me. Like, it was a great movie, it was a good experience. I never want to see it again. Listen to the podcast; we go into in detail. As much as it was awesome, I had it at 10, but Aladdin was just so much more fun. It edged it out.
Frigginz. Yep. Was 1917 fun for you?
It was a different experience. I like war movies, so that's different. And I don't like being depressed for 2.5 hours or whatever.
When a bunch of soldiers died on the front line?
I mean, that's different. It's history. I mean, it is depressing, but I don't know.
But not
anyway,
depressing.
It's totally different than
busted chops.
Listen to the Joker podcast. You guys will hear us go at it. That was such a good episode. So much fun.
Whatever, Murray.
Anyway, it didn't make my list. It's not my number 4. My number 4, I don't even want to tell you guys. Like, I'm telling you. All right,
let's just skip it then.
None of the good movies are on your list, so I can't wait to see where this goes.
Number 4, I literally have been dreading doing this episode to tell you my number 4 specifically. I don't even want to say it. Can we skip and just go to 3? No, it's worse than that. Okay, fine. I'll do it. Always Be My Maybe.
What?
Okay, so this is what I'm gonna say. It's a good movie. I'm not gonna hate on you for that. But all these other movies we've been talking about, you're like, it didn't make my top 10. But motherfucking Always Be My Maybe made your top 10. This is a Netflix rom-com. It is great. It is great. It is super funny. I loved it. I did love this movie. But motherfucking top 10? Okay.
Hell yeah.
All right.
There's something about rom-coms that
John
just
Wick
get to
didn't
me.
make it, but I'm glad Keanu got a shine on Always
He
Be
was
My
in
Maybe.
Keanu was in it. Dude, it's so funny. It cracks me up. It has so much heart. It was great. I mean, you guys gave me shit for Crazy Rich Asians last year, and you could give me some shit for Always Be My Maybe this year.
Why? Because they're Asian?
Asians.
I don't care. It was great. I loved it. There were
Fred and his
three
Asian
movies.
zing.
There were 3 movies that I watched more than once this entire of all of 2019. Aladdin was one. Always Be My Maybe was the second one, and my number one I saw multiple times. So like Always Be My Maybe was so good that I just had to keep rewatching it. There's so many lines that crack me up, and I just like the relationship between the two. It was super fun, fantastic, nothing but a good time, and Keanu was in it. So whatever.
I have not seen this movie. I did not know it existed, and I thought one of the guys played as Shredder, but apparently he didn't. So I gotta do some more research.
Shredder.
Daniel Day
Watch
Kim.
it. Just watch it.
I thought that was
Just
Shredder.
watch it. It's
Daniel
funny.
Day Kim is not Shredder.
That's
yes,
hilarious.
yes, Peeps. I think you should check it out. It is super funny. It's got Randall Park, who's just hilarious in everything he does, and what's her face? Oh, what the hell's her name?
Ali Wong.
Ali Wong. There you go. Really, really funny little rom-com, and Keanu is fantastic in it. He plays himself, but he's like super over the top, and
It's great. It's great.
It's really,
It's like
really
Deadpool's
good.
sidekick is in it too.
Yes.
Oh yeah, he is.
Yeah.
He's funny too.
Yeah, really funny. All right.
I will say, when you dropped your Crazy Rich Asians on your top 10, I watched it afterwards because of you, and it still wasn't top 10.
Well, at least I
did
gave
enjoy
you
it.
Something
I
you
did
wouldn't
enjoy it,
have
my man.
watched.
I still haven't watched
All right,
it.
good. Check this one out. It's so fun. You haven't watched? Oh, Don, come on.
Crazy Rich Asians? No, I have not watched it yet.
Oh, it's so good, so good. Anyway, what's your number 3?
All right, it is time for number 3.
Top 3.
All right, y'all ready? This one came back out. This one came out all the way back in February of the year, kicking us off in the first couple months of it. Really shocked the hell out of me because I thought it looked cool. I was like, this will be an alright movie, and was like, damn, I really enjoyed the fuck out of it. And my fingers are crossed. Please, 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 please give me a sequel one day. My number 3
I think we're the same one. All right, go ahead.
is Alita Battle Angel.
My man.
Oh man.
My man. I loved Alita Battle Angel. This was a movie that took some time to get to the theater. It was James Cameron was originally going to do it, and then Robert Rodriguez got it passed over to him. It was originally going to come out in 2018, and then they pushed it back. They redid some of the effects, and then it came out. Saw it in IMAX, and just my jaw was on the floor, man. I could not believe just what I was watching, and just the action, and just the story, and I was so looped in with everything this movie fed me. And I remember when it ended, I was sad. I was literally sad because I did not think the movie was over, and credits started rolling, and I'm like, what? How can it be over? I thought they were taking me to a whole nother fucking chapter in the movie. And it just ended. I'm like, we got to go up to the city. We got to get Edward Norton. Like, what's going on over here? And it just ended. And, it pretty much box office wise kind of just broke even. So it's on that bubble of like, should we give it a sequel? Should we not? And I hope to God that somebody is like, yeah, let's do this. Because I know a lot of people didn't go to the theater to see it, but you know what? This is one of those movies that the people that did see it, for the most part, really
Thank
like. Besides Fred, really liked this movie. I know our boy Geeky Pat gave it 5 stars. It was one of his favorite movies of the year.
Yes.
Peeps obviously loves it as much as I do. I gave it 5 stars. I absolutely love this movie. I've watched it several times. I have it in 4K. This is such a cool movie, and I wish it got more shine than it did. So Alita Battle Angel is my number 3.
That is also my number 3, DX. So great choice there. My man, dude, this movie, and this also makes me sad because the People's Forum was supposed to come back, and Frigginz and I, we actually have a Love It or Hate It episode talking specifically about Alita Battle Angel. Right after we got out of the theater.
Who loves it and who hates it?
My dude, man, this movie, like from jump, from the opening scene, from him like standing in the garbage heap, and it just the universe that they throw you into, it looks fucking gorgeous, and it just continues on. Like, there wasn't like, she's an obvious CGI, animated character that they're using motion capture on, but like after like the first 30 seconds when I see it, like I don't even see that shit anymore. Like I just
buy right
her.
into it. Yep.
I agree.
And from the action scenes to the alley to the bar scene to the end, and like I ate this movie up. Like everything they fed me, I ate up. Yes, there's 1 or 2 little bitty pieces that I'm like, yeah, they probably could have done without that shit. But like you said, DX, like when it ended, I'm like, no, don't do this to me.
I'm like, it's over? How the hell's it over?
I know. Like I wanted so much more. I wanted to see an actual battle ball, whatever that sport that they were playing. Like I wanted to see an actual game of that in the pro league, and I just wanted so much more from that movie outside of what they had already fed me. And it's such a gorgeous movie. I love whether if it's steampunk or cyberpunk. It was probably more steampunkish, but it was anime through and through. I love anime. My boy Frigginz isn't so much of an anime fan, so
I like some.
Name one. That's not Akira.
Oh, come on. Princess Mononoke. Boom.
Oh, all right, fine. You win. So I'm right there with you, my man. This is definitely a 5-star movie. I cannot stop watching this movie, and I will introduce myself to people. Hi, how you doing? My name's Sean. Yeah, have you seen Alita Battle Angel?
Nice.
Let's go to my house right now and watch it.
Yes.
I don't know your name yet,
I know,
sir,
it pisses me off because my wife refuses to watch this movie, and I'm like, please, it's so good. I'm like, let me show you this movie. But yeah, I can't get her to buy in. But so good, man, so good. And then here's Fred to shit all over it right now.
Yes, please. Pete, number 1, I will say this. Please invite me to come over to watch it, because I think I need to watch it a second time, because that first time I had the exact opposite experience as you guys. Like, you keep talking about how, like, the end, you were like, no, show me more. There were, like, 3 parts before that where the movie could have ended, and every time it kept going, I was like, why is it still going? And I did enjoy... I agree with you, Peeps. Like, once you got going, you didn't even notice the CGI with her anymore. And of course, you gotta love Aiza Gonzalez in there. But come on, Mashallah, I messed up his name. But you can't have Mashallah Ali and do nothing with him. Like, he was such a wasted character. But at the end of the day, it did have some cool action. It was kind of fun at parts. I just needed a little bit more. I do love that you guys like it so much, and I hope that a sequel does get made, because I feel like a sequel could be better than the first one in this case. So I'm kind of hoping to see if they can up the game a little bit and make me like it a little more.
So, Frigginz, you do know that this is based on something that's already been released, right? Like, they're not...
I know, yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Yeah. No, I'm just talking about the movie versions of it, so...
Yeah.
All right, Fred, what you got, number 3? Fucking Peanut Butter Falcon? Where we at?
Okay, so I will preface this by saying 2 and 3 are basically tied, but you have to pick one. So 2 or 3, it could have gone either way, but you're absolutely 100% correct. It's peanut. I went with Peanut Butter Falcon.
I bet it was over Honey Boy, wasn't it?
I don't know. Wait and find out.
You're so predictable.
Yeah. Peanut Butter Falcon. Dude, this movie is so good. This is like your Huck Finn story or Mark Twain, whatever. Like, it's just this.
That's what they say in the trailer.
And it's accurate. It's so accurate. Like, I didn't expect this big world-ending movie, and you shouldn't. Like, this is just a homegrown personal story. This is so good, and it was so refreshing to get something like this in this world where everything is, you know, huge explosions and world-ending kind of scenarios. It was so nice to see this, you know, character-driven performance. And let me tell you, talk about performance. Shia LaBeouf, I didn't know he could act so good. It's and the other kid that's in it with him is fantastic. What's okay?
Sam Witwicky,
sure.
The greatest character ever created.
You guys are missing out on just some like really touching connection of characters and this little adventure that they go on. It's just from point A to point B, and the shit that happens along the way, and it's just, oh man, it's so touching, and it just has so much heart, and everyone should see this movie because it's special. It's special, and I absolutely love it. There was a point where I was even debating whether this might even be my number one, but it was so good, and I can't praise it enough. And you guys can rat on it all you want, but I'm telling you, this is good homegrown story. That's just awesome. You got to check it out.
I mean, I ain't gonna take any dumps on it. I haven't seen it. I mean, it looks like Stand By Me, you know, nowadays.
It's got that kind of vibe, exactly.
And so it just takes me, you know, like you said, there's no explosions, there's no CGI females doing, you know, ninja flips and poking people in the eye with their arms. So it might take me a little bit to get there, but like it's on the radar. And honestly, in Frigginz, I trust. So
wow,
all 9 of these movies that you're giving me that I haven't even seen, I will check it out. You know, very shortly. You were right also about Dread, so you know you haven't steered me wrong yet. So
that's fair. Thank you. I appreciate that. I know Don doesn't, but that's okay.
Yeah, I will not be checking this one out. So,
come on. We're gonna go ahead and... add a little flavor to your life, man. Try something new.
Oh, I do all the time.
Broaden your horizons.
All right, it is time for number 2. So, my number 2 is another movie that has already been mentioned earlier tonight. And we did just do a massive 2-hour spoiler review on this a couple weeks ago, and that is Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker.
What?
I can't believe that made your 2.
Number 2, baby. I think it was my number 2 most anticipated also. So
yeah, it was.
It makes sense that it falls where it falls. I love this film. Like you all know, if you listen to the spoiler review, like I said, this was my favorite of the new trilogy. I love the 3s in all of them, and I just really loved it. I saw it twice in the theater. We talked for 2 hours about it a couple weeks ago, and my love has not gone away for it. It is fresh in my mind, and I had a great time with it. And when you talk about fun in the theater, Fred, I mean, this is kind of where it stands for me. I love fun, and I love these kind of movies, and this is where it stood. So I won't waste much more time with it, other than letting y'all know that Star Wars: The Rise of Skywalker is my number 2. So, Peeps, what you got?
All right, so this one nobody has seen here. Probably nobody listening has seen. So this is my number 2. And when you meet Peeps and you go to Peeps' house, you will see this everywhere. You will see this around his neck every day. You will see this on all of his usernames when he logs into the internets and does things. I been such a huge fan of this since I had first got introduced to it in the late 90s, and I love it. And they came out with an animated movie about it, and I went nuts and saw it like 3 times, and I fucking love this movie, and that is Dragon Ball Super Broly. It's okay.
I
It's all
remember
right.
you trying to get us to go see it. I remember.
Yes, and I don't think I can take any of you guys to watch this movie unless I give you like a 2-hour history lesson on Dragon Ball. But it is everything that Dragon Ball fans could possibly want in a movie. They go to levels that I couldn't even think you can go to. They punch people into dimensions. It is insane and fun, and the effects are far beyond anything that I have thought I could fathom. I absolutely love this movie. Story, whatever. I don't even care. Like this movie just
He said whatever.
this movie just looks gorgeous. And I mean, I say whatever, but they do things. They talk about the main character. The main character is always, you've never really known anything about his parents, and they actually give him a bit more context on why he is on Earth, and you know, they basically turn him into Superman, which is kind of nice. So whatever, fine, whatever, I don't care. Goddamn those punches though. So Dragon Ball Super Broly. If you just want to see some great animation and you don't and you know nothing about Dragon Ball, you probably still won't get as much of a kick out of this as I did. But I absolutely fucking love this movie. I've seen it more than any movie on this list this year. So I love it, and I'm handing it off to you, Frigginz.
All right, thank you, sir. I love it to hear the passion. You can sense the passion in how you talk about it. It's so cool. All right, so for my number two, it is not Honey Boy, Don. I unfortunately had not seen that yet. I was supposed to go this weekend and I missed it. But anyway, my number two is actually Ford versus Ferrari. Ford v Ferrari. I saw the trailer for this and I thought, ooh, I like Cobras. I like racing. I like cars. This is cool. Yes, super fun. And then I watched it and was completely shocked at how much I got into it. I thought the acting is phenomenally good. I mean, Christian Bale, Matt Damon, they're on another level, especially Christian Bale. I like this movie so much. I went and I found documentaries about this whole event, and I like just ate up this information after seeing this movie because it affected me so much. And I could sit in the theater. Like, I wish I could go watch this in IMAX right now just to hear the cars and feel like I'm in the cars with them and just the noises. I mean, it's just so cool. If you like cars and history, this is definitely a movie for you. But even if you don't, I thought, and I know, Don, you're about to come in here and say, this movie was boring and I fell asleep and all this stuff. This movie is so much fun, even for someone who doesn't like cars. There's just a lot to offer about seeing how these two characters interact and like their friendship. I thought that was just such an amazing thing that they cover in it that I wasn't expecting, because I thought it was just pretty much going to be about the cars, but it actually was about these two individuals and their friendship. So very, very cool. The documentary surprised me as a side note of how different reality was from the movie. But
well, they do that all the time.
Oh man, it's so different. I mean, crazy different. But it was still really fun, very interesting, and it brought a sense of like excitement and like, oh, what's gonna happen that I didn't expect, especially since I didn't know anything about it. But it very, very cool and highly recommend it. Just great all around movie.
All right. Well, Ford v Ferrari. I did like the movie, Fred. I told you this. But it is boring in many, many parts. It is too long. It's like 2.5 hours. It does not need to be that long. If they had this thing right at 2, I think it would have been a great movie. But yeah, I'm not going to hate on it. It was a decent movie.
All right.
Like you said with me, Frigginz, like you and your passion about this movie, like you Peeps, you gotta watch this movie. All right, next time we gotta watch this movie together, man. And then, like, nothing about this movie, like, gives me any kind of interest at all. But you are you love the shit out of this movie, and for that, I don't know. Maybe the movie's pretty good, or maybe you just like the vroom vrooms a lot. I don't know.
Oh yeah. I do like the vroom vrooms.
All right. Well, we've made it to number 1.
I think
we
it's
know what
all
it
going to be the same.
We know what it is.
Yep.
Drum roll, please. The number one film of 2019. The conclusion to the Infinity Saga. Avengers Endgame.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's so funny, such drastic list across the three of us. And here we are at number one in agreement. At least we've come together where it counts at number one. What can I say about this movie? The poster is on my wall. I love this film. This is now the biggest movie of all time, finally surpassing Avatar. Which they should enjoy, because once Avatar gets re-released in the theaters, it's going to lose that record right back to Avatar.
Yep.
But right now it is the biggest movie in the world of all time. You can stream it now on Disney Plus. This is a 3-hour epic juggernaut that took us up and down and around in so many different emotions, and we lost people, and we had one of the greatest, I think, cinematic moments ever, which was the Avengers Assemble moment and everybody coming back through the portals. And just chills from start to finish, and just, brought me to tears in many parts and had me giggling in other parts, and just had me so happy. I mean, this movie is phenomenal, and really there was just no question in the world what would be number one when it all came down to it. Avengers Endgame, everybody comes to play in this thing, even though we say goodbye to to Black Widow, and we say goodbye to Iron Man, and kind of say goodbye to Cap, and
say goodbye to Hulk's left arm.
Yeah.
Hulk's arm. We got Bro Thor up in this piece. We just had a lot of really cool, unique stuff happen in this film, and it is such an incredible movie, man, that just, again, for a 3-hour movie, I could pop this thing in any time, and just next thing I know, 3 hours have gone by, and I'm like, oh, shit, I was only going to watch like 10 minutes. I don't know how the hell this whole movie's done already.
Wow.
Phenomenal, though. So that's my take, number one. We all share it, so what's our thoughts here on Endgame, peeps?
Literally what you just said. I mean, Endgame, another amazing movie that we had a spoiler review on with DX, and I think we had to cut that episode short because we just kept going and going and going about just how phenomenal this movie was, and exactly what you just said. Like, this movie gave me the feels, and there's those moments in movies when I'm watching them and there's an action scene and I'm just thinking in my head, oh my God, this is so fucking amazing, or like the music going with a certain scene, and it just takes me out, and I'm just thinking to myself, holy shit, this is fucking phenomenal. And this movie did that so many times. And like you said, at the end, holy shit, with that on your left, and Captain America grabbing the hammer, and like the lady Avengers, like that, it just kept hitting those points for me. And it just, how difficult is it to bring so many like big personalities together to make such a phenomenal story, and the way that they ended it was almost the same way that they began. Like, the story started with Tony Stark, and then it kind of ends with him. And like, what a poetic, beautiful way to end a story. And it can go on and on and on about how amazing this movie is, but like, Avengers Endgame, probably, if we ever do like a top 10 of the decade, it's probably going to be there, if not one, number two. Excellent movie, though Infinity War was better. Go ahead, Fred.
I agree.
He had to throw that in there. Nah, look, you guys are both right. This is the number one movie of 2019. And for us especially, I mean, there was no other option. This is something that has been tied to us since childhood. This is in our DNA. These are things that we've enjoyed.
It brought us together. This is literally the stuff that brought us together. So yeah,
we became friends because of this stuff. And so, of course, something so big as Avengers Endgame is gonna hit all the nostalgia factor and hit keynotes within our souls to bring us here. And then what's great is they did things that you would never expect. I mean, who in the right mind would say that they're going to kill off Black Widow? That was crazy. And then, make Hawkeye a killer, and to make the connection with the Hulk. I know some people don't like it as much, but like for them to make those decisions, and the whole 5 years later, that alone, just my jaw hit the ground, because it had such huge implications that there's this world where the people were living with half the population for 5 freaking years before it gets fixed. And to do the time travel element was a method where they could come in and remind us of all these really important moments throughout the last 20 years or whatever. I don't know, it's not bad, but however many years it was, of all the Marvel movies that we've enjoyed and loved, and hitting on, these cool moments. Like for me, the Guardians of the Galaxy scene when Star-Lord's dancing like an idiot. I mean, it was great. It just pulls everything back to what we've always loved, to the individual movies, no matter which one you liked. So it just did things that I never would have expected in any kind of movie. And then, like you guys had mentioned, the assemble scene, the picking up the hammer scene. I mean, it just gave us some stuff that I could say I never imagined I would have seen. Even as a kid, thinking like someday I hope there's going to be an Avengers movie. I never would have thought we would get everything that we've got in this film alone. Not to mention the whole 20 whatever films that's been out. But yeah, no doubt this was the number one movie for me of 2019.
All right. Well, let's recap, guys, before we jump ship over to the other part. Frigginz, go ahead and count down your top 10.
Sure thing. My number 10 was Aladdin. Number 9, 1917. Number 8, Dolomite Is My Name. Number 7, Jojo Rabbit. Number 6, Good Boys. Number 5, Knives Out. Number 4, Always Be My Maybe. Number 3, Peanut Butter Falcon. Number 2, Ford v Ferrari. And number 1, Avengers Endgame.
All right. Peeps.
Number 10, Shazam. Number 9, Hobbs and Shaw. Number 8, Child's Play. Number 7, Spider-Man Far From Home. 6 is Star Wars Episode 9. 5, we got Godzilla. 4, Joker. 3, Alita Battle Angel. 2, Dragon Ball Super Broly. And number 1, Endgame.
All right, in my top 10, number 10 was Captain Marvel. Number 9 was Jumanji, The Next Level. Number 8 was Joker. Number 7 was Shazam. Number 6 was Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw. Number 5 was John Wick Chapter 3 Parabellum. Number 4 was Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 3, Alita Battle Angel. Number 2, Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. And number 1, Avengers Endgame. So there you go, guys. That is the countdown of our top 10 of 2019. And now we look forward to this year. We closed the book on 2019, and we're going to break down 2020 right now.
Heck yeah.
This list will go a lot faster, just warning everybody, because obviously we haven't seen any of these movies. This is just speculation. This is just, hey, these are things I'm looking forward to. And
we may have seen a movie or two.
Maybe.
Just throwing it. Maybe.
For the most part, you know what I'm saying. We're not going to spend an absorbent amount of time on anything. We're just going to kind of get through our list and kind of just see where it all falls when we fast forward another year from now and do this list all over again. But yeah, this was an interesting list to do. I know we kind of talked off air about it, and I know Peeps shares my sentiment, which was 2020 is not looking too good as far as I feel. On paper, I'm like, I'm excited to see these 10 movies, but there's really not much that's popping off the paper to be like, oh, I can't wait. Like there usually is every year. We don't have an Avengers movie. We don't have, a real big blockbuster Star Wars, anything kind of really coming out that I'm just jaw dropped and can't wait to get to. So yeah, I struggled, man. I mean, actually the list kind of came together very easily because there's not much to put on it, to be honest. But I know Frigginz, he found kind of the opposite. He had a lot of stuff that he was kind of digging through. So it'll be interesting, but I'll tell you, I know me and Peeps, we looked at our list and we just went, meh. It's just kind of, it's there and I'm excited, but I'm not even super excited to go through it because I just feel like there's not much oomph here. But hey, let's do it. Let's do it. So I'll kick us off at number 10, and this kind of goes along with one of your top 10 movie peeps of 2019. It was an anticipated movie, the last one for me on last year's list, and I was let down, but I'm still got my fingers crossed here for this one, and that is Godzilla versus King Kong. Godzilla versus Kong. I'm hoping this is going to be great. I loved Kong Skull Island. I really, really love that movie. That's my favorite, actually, of all those, kind of in this universe kind of films. I like Godzilla, and just thinking about a movie with these two going head to head, and I like the director that they got. I'm really hoping this one pans out to be something pretty special. So that's my number 10, Godzilla versus Kong.
Excellent. All right, so we're just going to go back and forth?
Yeah,
okay.
Go
ahead. Number 10 for me is Wonder Woman. 1984, is that what it is?
Yeah.
So just based off the trailer and of course the movie itself, the movie, the original Wonder Woman, again, looking forward to big things with this movie. It looks a lot of fun, but I mean, I really don't know what else to expect, so I am very much looking forward to seeing this movie. So Wonder Woman 1984. I dig the jumper, the jumpsuit that Trevor had. I want to know how he comes back. So all that fun stuff.
Fair enough. Well, my number 10, I actually had some honorable mentions. You guys just skip right over that part, but that's okay. I'm gonna throw them out real quick. One, you're not gonna believe this, John. As much as I don't like horror movies, both honorable mentions I'm gonna mention are horror movies.
Shocker.
There's
obviously
one called Antlers. Oh my god! When I saw the trailer, I was like, this looks dope. I can't wait to see this. And the other was Underwater, which I have seen and absolutely loved. I highly recommend everyone go see Underwater. But anyway, my number 10 is Dune. This is a story that I've heard about my entire life. I should know everything about it because it's right in the sci-fi stuff that I like. But the books are thick as hell, and I haven't devoted the time to check it out. I know that they tried making movies, and I think there's even an real old version of it, and there's been a mess to try and get Dune done, and I cannot wait to see what happens in this film. So we're scheduled for, I think, December on this one, so it's very likely it might get pushed back to the next year. So this may be one of those that, but I hope not, because I'm super excited to finally get to learn a little bit about Dune. So that's my number 10.
All right. Well, that'll kind of tie in with my number 9 here. My number 9 is Morbius. The funny thing is when I originally made my list, I actually did have Dune on it, Fred. Dune was my number 10.
Nice.
And then the trailer came out for Morbius last week, and I was like, "Ooh, this looks really cool!" And Dune got bumped.
That's fair.
And it got bumped because, like I said, it's one of those ones that we know kind of what it is, but we haven't seen any footage. I don't know anything. What I do know is Dune has an amazing cast. It's got a great director, and I think it is going to be something pretty phenomenal when it does come out in December. But I probably needed a trailer to really win me over to make it back into the top 10. But Morbius kind of came out of nowhere, and I knew the movie was coming. I was like, all right, Jared Leto is playing the vampire. It's like, okay, this was an odd one for me that Sony would even be like, hey, let's make Morbius the living vampire. It just seemed like an odd shot character to kind of roll with. But then the trailer came out, and I loved the trailer, and I loved its connections to the Spider-Man universe, and it seems more connected than we thought it would be, and it looks really, really cool. So just based on that trailer alone, it squeezed into the top 10 after my list was done, causing a little bit of a shift there at the end. But Morbius is my number 9.
I would say Morbius would be a honorable mention to me. Definitely not because I forgot about it, but yeah, no, I don't know. We'll see. It looks fun. So yeah. Another honorable mention real quick. Did you guys know they're going to make a Snake Eyes movie from G.I. Joe?
Yes.
Oh,
ninjas.
Yeah. Cannot wait.
Snake Eyes is the cool. I don't know.
It'll be
Snake
cool.
Eye. All right, but okay. Number 9 for me, MCU. It's going to be weird. It's going to be crazy. I am really looking forward to it because Marvel has pulled off weird and crazy before, but that is the Eternals. I have no idea other than the cast goes on for days, and there's a lot of big names in there, and there's some comedians that are really ripped now to play these characters. So, Eternals. Let's see what you got, MCU. I am looking forward to that one.
That also falls probably under one of my honorable mentions. I think, you
didn't even make his turn.
didn't make it, but that's the thing. Like, this one definitely could easily have been on it if I had seen maybe a trailer or something. It works both ways. Sometimes you see the trailer and it raises your excitement up, and sometimes you see the trailer and it raises your excitement down. So not seeing a trailer
down.
or brings it down. You know what I mean? Brings it down. Sorry, it's getting late. But so where you saw Morbius and it made you put it on your list and you moved it in there. I saw the trailer for Bloodshot, and that actually brought it down a little bit. Bloodshot probably would have been way higher on my list because I love Valiant Comics. I love the character Bloodshot. But I think the movie looks great. I think it looks fun. It's going to be a stupid action flick, and that's going to be okay. But something about it just didn't hit me right with what I was kind of hoping for. I will just say this: they better give me a Ninjak cameo, otherwise I'm gonna be super pissed off. But we'll see how it goes. So that's my number 9.
All right.
Nobody knows what you're talking about, friend.
I know. There's like maybe one other person who's like, yeah, Ninjak, I know.
All right. Well, that goes into my number 8, which is Bloodshot. So
yeah, nice.
So I think this movie looks fucking awesome. I think the character sounds cool as hell. I am very little into this character as far as the comic goes. I knew of him, didn't know much else around the surrounding world. I was happy to know that Sony picked up the rights and they wanted to make this universe, and getting Vin Diesel to be Bloodshot is pretty cool. I've liked the marketing that they've done so far. I love the nanotechnology, kind of putting them back together when things happen, and it just, like you said, it looks like a fun, cool, badass action flick, and in the superhero kind of world. And I'm curious to see how well this movie does, because I have a feeling like this could be a very big bomb. But at the same time, I'm looking very forward to it, and it's my number 8.
God, I just hope it does well so I can get a Ninjak movie. I'm telling you, Ninjak is so cool.
All right, guys, we're already getting to the get the fuck out of here. So my number 8 is a movie that when I saw the original, I was like, this is going to be stupid. I watched it. I love it. My kids love it. I am a huge fan of animated movies. If you don't know this already, I absolutely do. And this movie, from the trailer to just anticipating a sequel, I am very much looking forward to Trolls 2. Go ahead, Fred.
Tiny Diamonds is my name.
The trailer looks so good. I'm sorry.
Hey, I feel you, dude.
You got me speechless.
I feel you. I have a 6-year-old, man. My daughter loves Trolls, and this fucking trailer looks badass. Even though it's basically the rock troll is Thanos trying to collect all the fucking all the stones,
all the Infinity Stones,
all the different color fucking guitar strings to make the ultimate riff. But hey, man, I dig it.
I have a feeling you would. I have a feeling you would watch this movie whether you had kids or not, Peeps. This is just right up your alley.
Shut up. It's your turn, Fred.
Oh, I thought you were going to talk more about it.
Nope. That's all. We get mermaid trolls. That's all I've ever wanted.
Mermaid trolls. All right. Well, my number 8 is a movie that I just saw last week, and that was Bad Boys for Life. When Bad Boys
out?
Yeah,
Yes.
Came out, man, and it's good stuff. It's a fun action comedy film, and it's if you like the first Bad Boys and the second Bad Boys, it's pretty much the same thing. But yeah, this was on my list. I made this list before.
I was gonna say, I love how Fred anticipates this movie more than Bloodshot, and he's already seen.
Well, it's because when I made the list, I hadn't seen it yet, so I was like,
got
I'll
you.
keep
No,
the
that's
list true. I'm gonna keep the
That's
list true.
Yeah.
And yeah,
We talked
so
about
Bad
that,
Boys
yeah.
for
Gotta leave
Bad
it where
Boys
it
for
lay.
Life is mine. I almost removed it because it's like, well, I gotta.
No,
but yeah,
you can't
Don
just
was like,
remove
no,
it. Come on.
you gotta
can't
leave
cheat, man. Come on.
Mike
So
Lowry. Mike Lowry.
it. It was it's my number 8.
It's not on my list at all.
Okay. Time for number 7. And my number 7 is the Ryan Reynolds video game movie Free Guy.
Free Guy.
Free Guy looks awesome. I love the trailer. I love the concept of him just being a side knockoff kind of character that's not a part of the real game, gets beat up every day, robbed at the bank, and just one day he says, fuck it, I'm gonna go do something about it, and kind of just takes over. And I love how cool the world looks, and it looks super funny. And I know I read an article with Ryan Reynolds saying this was the most fun he's ever made making a movie. And he said, and I made Deadpool. So, you know,
Right.
that
That's pretty
speaks
awesome.
volumes right there. And it just looks like a blast of a film that comes out this summer in July. So Free Guy is my number 7.
Interesting. That it's that is also on my list. But it is not my number 7.
I haven't even seen the trailer yet.
It looks good.
I know.
Wow. Yeah. All right, so now we're getting to the point of the list where I haven't seen haven't seen many trailers or any trailers on the movie, but from synopsis and stuff that I kind of know about it, I am looking forward to. This next movie, I'm basing it off of the teaser that I've seen on it and the studio, and that is a Pixar movie called Soul. Pixar, for me, outside of the little dinosaur movie, does nothing but come out with like amazing movies. Frigginz, we disagree on Inside Out, but
Yeah.
they make phenomenal movies in my opinion. And this Soul movie, the fact that they're mixing music and the music of that, it looks like it's going to be like hella fun. And in Pixar I trust, and I am looking forward to seeing Soul. So Soul, Pixar, number 7, that's for me. Yeah. Blues and jazz.
You got me excited to check out that trailer. I hadn't heard anything about that.
Why are we going back to Don's? I was just talking. Oh, you're talking about Soul? Oh,
Yeah.
okay. All right.
That's
I
what I'm
thought you were back on Free Guy.
No. I'm gonna like that. It's got Ryan Reynolds, but Soul, I'm interested to see what this one's all about.
Yeah. It's weird.
Free Guy looks cooler.
Number 7, for
mine.
me, I picked for my number 7, The King's Men. I freaking loved The Kingsman Secret Service. That first movie was phenomenal. The second movie, I wasn't as thrilled about, but I will never get over the church fight scene. That thing was insane. And then seeing the trailer for The Kingsman, I like the prequel aspect. I like the way the trailer moves and the scenes that they show you. It just seems really, really cool. I can't wait to learn a little bit more about this world and kind of some of its, maybe not origins, but earlier years. So I think it looks great. So whatever, peeps.
I mean, I love Kingsman, the first one, but something about this trailer just didn't grab me.
I agree, and I am a massive fan of Kingsman. I love Kingsman Golden Circle. I love both those movies. This Kingsman looks fucking horrible.
Wait, what?
Yeah, it looks horrible, dude. It fucking looks
I
shitty.
thought you said I agree.
I agreed with Peeps saying this don't look good.
Oh, no way, man! It looks great.
It doesn't, and it's been pushed back 2 times already. This is not looking good. So this movie was supposed to come out next month. It's already been pushed to like the end of the year. There's a problem here. Like, it just looks boring. Like, I don't need to see a fucking prequel. Give me Eggsy back. I want to see the story move on and continue, which I know we're supposed to get Kingsman 3 in the proper way, but this feels like a really weird detour to get me there, and I'm just not feeling it.
Yeah.
So.
That's fair.
All right. Number 6. Number 6 for me is a movie that I'm still wondering if it's even going to come out this year on time. It is slated to come out. They're supposedly filming right now, but I've seen no set pictures. I've heard nothing. I feel like the news has been kind of mum since
I think we have the same movie.
A director was announced, and I'm like, is this movie gonna really come out in time? But hey, the first one kind of had a similar shooting schedule, and it did make it out in time. So
we do have the same one.
Number 6 is Venom 2.
Yep.
So supposedly we got Carnage. We can have some other really cool stuff popping off in this thing. You know, is Spider-Man going to be more connected into this one now since we saw what they did with Morbius? Oh my God, I'm spacing his name now, but Caesar. Andy Serkis is the new director for this film, and I think he's going to do a phenomenal job with it. Obviously, he knows mocap, he knows how to do all the cool stuff, which will probably be really cool for a Venom and a Carnage. Carnage, I like wanted Mowgli. To see, and Carnage is something I wanted to see on the big screen like my whole life. So I am super excited that we had that little cameo from Woody Harrelson at the end of the first one. Bringing him in, having it go full Carnage. There's rumors this one might actually be rated R. But I don't know, man. A little piece of me is still wondering, is this movie going to come out in time? I don't know, because I know Andy Serkis is in the new Batman movie, which is currently filming right now too. And I'm like, so how's he directing a movie and going to star in a movie unless he goes and just films his shit in like one day? But we'll see. But if it does stick to its landing date, which is either October or November, Venom 2 then will be my number 6.
I share your number 6, Mr. DX. I also have Venom 2. I'm really excited to see, if they are able and how much they are able to connect everything that they've done so far. Are they only going to connect the Spider-Man stuff, or are we going to get, some actual MCU nods into these worlds? Carnage, I've never been as much of a Carnage fan as everybody else has, but I am a huge Venom fan, and I can't wait to see some more Venom. First movie is very Amazing Spider-Man 2 for me. It's like I love it and I hate it at the same time. But I am looking forward to Venom 2. So it is number 6 on my list. Let's see what they can do. Hopefully, like you said, I didn't know that we may not see it in 2020. So I hope we do, though, because we have a week 2020.
I don't know, man. We've been throwing out a bunch of different things. Venom 2 didn't even make my list. I was so disappointed with the first one that I have zero excitement for the second one. Hopefully they you do that well. Hopefully they turned it around and do it a little better than that first one, because I was quite disappointed. But nonetheless, it didn't make my list. My number 6, however, is Top Gun Maverick. Big fan of Tom Cruise, as far as his movies goes. And Top Gun is a classic. I've seen it a ton of times and just so stoked. This is a dude who learned how to fly a jet so he can film this. He goes overboard on everything. But the trailer looks really cool. Can't wait to see what this does. Ever since they started talking about it, I was like, how are you going to make a sequel? It doesn't make any damn sense. But they did it, and the trailer looks great, and I can't wait. And that's my number 6.
All right. I am looking forward to it. It did not make my top 10, but I do think it looks really good. The last trailer was awesome, and I do believe in Tom Cruise. So hopefully it is awesome. All right. My number 5 is a movie that's been mentioned already on someone else's list, and that for me is Wonder Woman 1984. So that's my number 5. I thought the first Wonder Woman movie was great. I think Gal Gadot is an amazing Wonder Woman. I thought she was awesome in Justice League as well, and I can't wait to see her now in the 80s in her full glory, just kicking ass. And I think this is going to be something pretty cool. So I am very, very excited for this movie to finally hit. I can't wait to see what Cheetah looks like in her full glory. They're kind of hiding her back from the trailers right now, but good. I know it is good, but a piece of me is like, come on, show me Cheetah. I really want to see it.
There's no way that they're not going to show us her before the movie comes out.
For sure. But yeah, I'm excited about it. So Wonder Woman 84 is my number 5.
Watch it look like one of the Cats characters. That would be great.
That would be hilarious.
Yeah. All right. Number 5 is a movie I know absolutely nothing about until DX, said, "Hey, let's make a list." But I've been looking at it, and again, for me, in Disney, I trust. This is a Disney movie that is coming out that has no trailer. That its synopsis is literally one sentence, but for some reason, the teaser image that they have of this movie, and is enough to get me pretty excited to put it over, everything that I have so far. As a movie coming out, Disney, is called Raya and the Last Dragon. From what it looks like, this is going to be very much like a fantasy, Japanese oriented kind of movie. I'm thinking Moana goes, mythical dragons and beasts kind of movie, and I don't know, like that by itself that got me pretty excited for it. And again, Disney, I mean, how could you go wrong? And like I said, I love me the animated film, so I am looking forward to some Raya and the Last Dragon. Apparently Aquafina is going to be the Mushu in this one. I don't know. So
She's awesome.
Yeah. So
do you know what the
and
sentence
Fred
is?
knows
I'm
his
curious.
Asian, so if he says she's
It'll
awesome.
probably be in my top 10. It'll probably be in my top 10 next year too. What's your do you know the sentence? Do you have the sentence there?
Yeah. I certainly have it here.
Type.
No, I'm not. No. In a realm known as Lumandra, a reimagined Earth inhabited by an ancient civilization, a warrior named Rhea is determined to find the last dragon.
The title's pretty specific.
Yeah. A reimagined Earth, and she's like on the little image, like she's riding like some funky looking turtle lizard. I don't know. It looks dope. So.
Very cool. Well, my number 5 is tied with same as you, Don. I also threw Wonder Woman in there at number 5. I will say this: I actually had it much higher until I saw the trailer. So this is one of those situations similar to Bloodshot, where after seeing the trailer, actually brought my excitement level down. There's something about that trailer that just did not ring with me. I have a hard time putting my finger exactly on what about it I didn't like, but there's just certain elements that I just was kind of shaking my head, and I kind of looked around like, wow, this was not what I was expecting. And so hopefully the movie is phenomenal.
He said it was too 80s, Don.
I did say it had a little too strong 80s vibe for me. I realize it takes place in the 80s.
It takes place in the goddamn 80s. How are you going to fight that?
I get it, but I don't know. Something about the trailer just didn't do it for me. So hopefully the movie will bring the excitement level up. And the first one was amazing, as you said. But it is number 5, so it's still right there in the middle. So it's not like it didn't drop it out of the list.
I think the new Black Widow movie looks way too, late 2000s for me.
Whatever. Anyway,
Wonder Woman 84 just looks way too 84 for me.
I just said the trailer.
You change your Twitter handle to Film Snob 69.
That's all right. Film Snob 69. It definitely won't be Film Snob 84. That's for sure.
Film Snobster Johnson.
All right.
Nice.
My number 4 is a movie that has also been mentioned earlier tonight already, and that is The Eternals. So Marvel Studios' Eternals movie. Once again, I know absolutely nothing about other than the cast. I knew nothing about Eternals. This is like a Guardians of the Galaxy thing for me that is like, who the fuck are they and what's going on and why should I care about these people? But it sounds really, really cool. It's going to be another big space epic, and yeah, the cast is phenomenal, and in Feige we trust. So I think it's going to be a badass movie, and that's why it goes all the way up to my number 4.
Yeah, boy. Cool. My number 4, we're still in the MCU world, and that is Black Widow. It would be higher on my list, I guess, if this movie's stakes were a little bit higher, because it takes place in the past. So yes, they're introducing a lot of things and maybe answering some questions that we never thought we had. I don't know. Maybe Budapest, but whatever. I was at Comic-Con last year, and I saw a trailer that nobody else has seen yet, and I am From what I've seen from Taskmaster and everything else that I've seen since then, Black Widow looks like it looks like it's still going to be a ride. So I am looking forward to it. So Black Widow, number 4, Peeps.
All right. Well, my number 4 is little James Bond action, No Time to Die. I'm a big James Bond fan. I especially Daniel Craig as James Bond. Casino Royale is just amazing. So this trailer looks great. Again, we talked about Ana de Armas earlier. She's making an appearance as a Bond girl, so that's pretty cool. The trailer just really captured my attention, and it just looks like it's going back to just some really cool action. So really stoked for this one, and I hope that it's really good.
I agree. This would be an honorable mention for me. It almost made the top 10 for me because that trailer is fantastic. You got Rami Malek as the bad guy, which is awesome. Like you said, Ana de Armas, and it just looks really badass. I'm hoping it's great. I mean, Spectre looked really cool too, and that movie sucked. So I'm hoping that they're able to pull this one out, especially with it being the last movie for Daniel Craig as Bond. So, yeah, honorable mention for me. Okay, number 3. Peeps just talked about it. It's Black Widow. So
Ooh.
Marvel Studios' Black Widow is number 3 for me. I feel the same way, Peeps. It's just like it kind of, the only thing that takes away from this movie is that it's a prequel, and we know that her character's dead already, so it's almost like too little too late in one aspect. But I am glad she's finally getting her due. I'm glad we're getting a movie that's kind of like, this is what she did between Civil War and Infinity War. Here's kind of the middle ground, seeing her family and just being a good espionage kind of action flick. Looking forward to it. So it's my number 3.
Yeah. All right. So my number 3, again, it was pretty high on my list last times. The first one or the second one, but that's Kong versus King. Dumbass. God versus King. That's the way I've been seeing it advertised. God versus King. Godzilla versus King Kong. Again, just not much else I could say on this. Huge Godzilla fan. Very much looking forward to this. I'm pretty sure that we're going to get a classic Batman v Superman where they're fighting throughout the majority of the movie until the very end, where they come together to fight the greater bad. Whatever. Because again, like, I'm gonna be fucking pissed if King Kong dies from Godzilla. Like, I will be pissed. That's all I'm saying. But yes, number 3, Godzilla, King Kong. Yeah.
I don't know how he could go up against that Godzilla blast. I mean, that blast is pretty epic. Anyway, my number 3.
We can talk about this later, friggin'.
Okay, lay it out for me. Number 3 for me is Mulan. I mean, have you guys seen this trailer? Holy crap, this trailer looks amazing. What? Get out of here. What the fuck? Get the fuck out of here.
I'm with you, Frigginz.
Oh, no way, dude. That
said I'm with you, Frigginz.
No, I know. I'm letting the snores pass.
Oh, sorry. We're still talking about Mulan?
Wake up, Don. I'm talking here. Trailer was phenomenal.
Nope.
I think it looks amazing. It's
Nope.
going to be so fun.
Nope.
I mean, I'm a sucker for sword fights and like ninja samurai stuff. So this is going to be sweet and cannot wait. So number 3, Mulan.
Oh God.
Let's get down to business to defeat the Huns.
If there's one Disney movie that I wish they wouldn't adapt, it'd be Mulan. So I'm just like, I could not give a fuck less.
I have to.
Oh, it's so good.
Oh, Can't do it. All right, number 2. And this was on Fred's list earlier, and it is a movie we have seen already. Bad Boys for Life is my number 2 movie of the whole year. I am a massive Bad Boys fan. Bad Boys 2 is in my top 10 of all-time films. I love Bad Boys, and I've been waiting for this goddamn third movie forever. And so when it really came down to making the list, and I knew there was a good chance we were probably going to see it before actually recording, Once again, I just felt like it was just fair. Just leave it where it is, where it lied. And when I made this list, I mean, at one point it was my number one film of the year. And I talk about anticipation. I mean, this is a movie. Everything else we've talked about, we're kind of just speculating. Like Bad Boys, this is a third movie. I know what I'm getting into. I was so excited to see Will Smith and Martin Lawrence back together. And yeah, it was a great movie. Now that we've seen it, we could talk about it. It was awesome. It was everything I had hoped it to be. But yeah, it made my number two because I couldn't wait to see the Bad Boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
I was always Team Rush Hour over Bad Boys. So
Really?
yeah.
Oh man, as a kid, me and my friend would like reenact the scenes with our toy guns in the living room, rolling around on the ground, shooting the bad guys. Oh, it was great.
Dude, Fred, weren't you like 18 when that movie came out?
No, I was like
kidding.
12, 10, something. I don't know.
All right,
How
number
old are
two.
you? Look, damn near 30.
My number two. I'm with you, Frigginz, my man.
He's gonna say
Mulan.
It. Fuck!
Yeah, buddy.
God damn it.
It looks so good.
Not just that it looks good, like it's a good story. It's a good story, and
Agree.
the little changes that they have in it, I'm really looking forward to. That the bird is actually like a person that's with that general guy. I don't know, like it. I'm looking forward to it. Donnie Yen, like that's my dude. Like I can't wait to see some. Just some. With what they did with Aladdin, I am looking forward to seeing a reimagining of Mulan. It's an amazing animated movie, and I think they're going to do a pretty good job. I am very much looking forward to it, mainly because of that trailer. So, yeah.
Same. And Don, I'm going to say I think you will like the movie more than you think because
he won't
you have
even
the same.
Watch it.
No,
he'll get dragged to it. You're right.
Exactly, because just like Aladdin that you had no interest in, you ended up liking.
I had way more interest in Aladdin than I ever fucking do in Mulan. There's zero interest in Mulan. At least with Aladdin, I was like, it's 50-50. If they want me to go, I guess I'll go. But Mulan does not look good to me whatsoever.
That's fine. Well, I appreciate your number two, Peeps.
Thank you.
My number two is a movie I had no idea about until I saw the trailer, and then the whole time I'm watching the trailer, I'm thinking it's one kind of movie, and then like halfway through the trailer, I'm like, what the fuck just happened? And that's Tenet. This is the new movie by Christopher Nolan, and holy crap, I don't know what the hell's happening, but I am interested as all hell.
That is why it didn't make my list, because I don't know what the fuck's happening.
Inception
man. It adds the question marks just start flying everywhere, and I'm like, I can't wait to figure it out. Christopher Nolan is a great track record for me. I've loved everything I've seen that he's done, so I can't wait, and it's my number two.
All right, Tenet was an honorable mention for me. It almost made the list. It is a very cool trailer. I've been seeing a teaser for it in IMAX for like the last half a year. That just had him looking at the bullet holes in the glass and the smoke, and I'm like, what the fuck is this? Like, what is this Tenet movie? And finally the full trailer came out, and it is trippy as hell, man. It's like Inception, it's a little Matrix, it's all over the place with this like fast forward, rewind kind of thing. It's like, what is that all about? It does look very, very interesting, so yeah, I can't wait to check that one out.
Definitely.
See where it goes. All right, well, my number one is a movie that nobody else has talked about, and everybody will probably be like, what? But, this all goes into, we've talked sequels, we've talked, our, Bad Boys was so high on my list because it's the third movie, and I know what I'm getting, and I'm excited about it. So, when I looked over the whole year, and I was like, what really is something that I can really sink my teeth into and look forward to coming out, that I know is going to deliver? The road led one way, and that was to Fast and Furious 9.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Fast and Furious 9, baby.
Get out of
There was
here.
only one answer for Don.
The road
I had no idea.
was only going one direction, baby, and that was all roads lead to Fast and Furious 9 being number 1, baby. It is the 9th motherfucking movie in this franchise that just gets better and better and better. Come on, man. And this one's got John Cena.
Better?
It's got John Cena. We got Justin Lin coming back to direct, who is the mastermind behind the real good entries in this franchise. You know, I mean, the cool thing about Fast 9 is I really don't know where the hell the story is going to take us. You know, I hear Charlize Theron's coming back a little bit. You know, we got our original director back. Who the hell is John Cena playing? Is he a good guy? Is he a bad guy? You know, we don't have The Rock or Jason Statham in this one because they were doing Hobbs and Shaw. So, like, where's the story going to take us? Like, what are we doing in this one? The first trailer, I think, is supposed to... No, we got to save that for 10, man. Come on. That's where we wrap up this baby. But, you know, the first trailer, I think, is going to drop at the end of the month. There's going to be a big trailer reveal, I think 20-something of this month, and I can't wait to see the first trailer for this thing. So I'm going into it blind, but hey, by the 9th movie, I feel pretty safe and confident in knowing that this is my franchise, and I love it. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Fate of the Furious, but, you know, I think they're back on track with this one. With Justin Lin coming back, it gives me a lot of faith and a lot of hope, and I think this one's going to be pretty damn badass. So, yeah, Fast and Furious 9, baby, my number 1.
Wow, man. Honestly, I was expecting something like a Bill and Ted or like a Ghostbusters or...
yeah, same.
You know, something. I mean, they're even bringing Coming to America back, so I don't know. Yeah.
All honorable mentions.
Thank you for not saying Birds of Prey, though. I appreciate that.
Oh, I know, right?
Yeah.
Did not make the top 10.
Yeah, unfortunately. Sonic the Hedgehog is mine, though, by the way. I'm just kidding.
I wouldn't doubt it based on the way your list is going.
Right?
Everything's all animated and kid-friendly.
Well, not much I could say on mine that DX hasn't already mentioned when he brought it up earlier. But the number 1 movie I am actually really, really, really looking forward to, and it was because of that trailer, is Free Guy.
Oh, the trailer Fred didn't see.
I haven't seen it yet.
That movie, it looks so fucking fun, man.
Yes.
And like, and it, I don't know.
Is that a Glock
I have
in
no
your
idea.
pocket?
What's up?
Is that a Glock in your pocket?
No, it's two. Like, it just looks nuts, and again, you know, Taika Waititi, you know, and he's got his little cameo on it, and I'm really looking forward to this movie. It looks like it's going to be just hella fun from beginning to end. The effects when he had the glasses on and he saw all the avatars and explosions all over it just. I'm really looking forward to seeing this movie out of everything else that I've mentioned so far. So, Free Guy is my number 1. It was very close to picking you know, New Mutants, but you know, I
sure
decided not to.
Hey, they finally got magic. They finally got magic in there.
I still don't believe New Mutants is coming out in the theater. So.
I know, right? Well, I think I'm gonna have to go and watch that trailer for New Guy soon because everything I keep hearing it just sounds amazing.
Free Guy.
Well, yeah, Free Guy, whatever. Anyway, my number 1, you guys both have mentioned on your list, was a little bit lower. And I'll be honest, it was low on my list until I saw the trailer. So this is the example of seeing the trailer bumping it up. And for me, that's Black Widow. You know, when they first, I mean, when they first talked about it, I was just like, well, you know, it's Marvel, it's Black Widow, of course I'm going to see it. But I had no excitement. And even Peeps, when you saw it, the trailer at Comic-Con, and you know, you come out of there and you were telling us about it, and I was just like, that sounds cool, but still my excitement was not there. And then when I saw the trailer, I mean, it's just everything I like. I like, you know, the espionage, like the whole, you know, that kind of actiony little ninja action stuff going on with Taskmaster and Black Widow, and everything about it just raised a bunch of questions, like what's going on, what's this about, what's that about, what's this about. And you know, I think the big complaint that I keep hearing people say is exactly what you guys said earlier, and that it's a prequel, so you kind of know how it's going to end. But you could say the same thing for, aside from Avengers Infinity War and Endgame, you could say for any superhero movie, you generally know that
Scorpion
the good guys...
King?
a superhero movie that then you generally know how that the main character is gonna come out on top, right? So it doesn't really change anything as far as any other superhero film. And I'm telling you right now, I feel like they're gonna have some sort of twist that we're not expecting, that is gonna be amazing. But that trailer just blew me away, and it literally skyrocketed my excitement. So Black Widow jumped all the way up to number 1 for me.
It still fits.
Dude, it was awesome. It's so funny. So cool. So cool. Can't wait to see what like her little other family is all about, and like all their badassery. I'm stoked. Can't wait. It's gonna be cool.
Awesome. Well, let's recap. Peeps, top 10 or most
anticipated. Number 10 is Wonder Woman. Number 9, Eternals. Number 8, Trolls. Number 7, Soul.
It's
Number
Trolls
6,
World Tour. Let's just specify which Trolls.
I apologize. Trolls 2 World Tour. Number 7, Soul. Number 6, Venom Maximum Carnage. Number 5,
Unofficial.
Raya and the Last Dragon. Number 4, Black Widow. Number 3, God vs. Kong. Number 2, Mulan. Number 1, Free Guy.
All right, Frigginz.
All right, for me, I got number 10, Dune. Number 9, Bloodshot. Number 8, Bad Boys for Life. Number 7, The Kingsman. Number 6, Top Gun Maverick. Number 5, Wonder Woman 1984. Number 4, No Time to Die, James Bond 007, whatever. Number 3, Mulan. Number 2, Tenet. Number 1, Black Widow.
All right. My number 10 is Godzilla vs. Kong. Number 9 is Morbius. Number 8 is Bloodshot. Number 7, Free Guy. Number 6, Venom 2. Number 5, Wonder Woman 84. Number 4, Eternals. Number 3, Black Widow. Number 2, Bad Boys for Life. And number 1 is Fast and Furious 9. Until they give me some really cool title when the trailer comes out and we see this title something else unique.
Fast and Furious versus Men in Black.
Yeah, I'd watch that. I ain't gonna lie.
All right, guys. Well, hey, it is done. It is locked, and we'll see how the year turns out to be when it's all said and done. Thank you guys for joining the show. That is our top 10 movies of 2019 and our top 10 most anticipated films of 2020. So thanks to Frigginz and Peeps for joining me tonight. Make sure you follow them on Twitter at ForMyPeoples and at Frigginz. And of course, make sure you follow me at DX DONMEGA and follow the show at Am I on the Air. Make sure you subscribe, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Spreaker, Stitcher, TuneIn, iHeartRadio, Google Play Podcasts, Anchor. We're all over all the different platforms, so make sure you subscribe there. And I hope you've enjoyed the show, so enjoy it, spread the love, and we'll catch you on the next one. So, till next time, y'all. Peace! Red Dragon!